Hello, YouTube.
Hey, YouTube.
What's going on?
Hey.
We had some tech difficulties
My
uh,
apologies, everyone.
from our special
Gremlins.
guest. So tonight, it's like Listener Thursday or something, or Watch Your Thursday or something. Which
Sure.
Watch Your Thursday, watch your Thursday. You and I am geek.
Is that like Watch Your Six? It's like Watch Your Thursday.
Yeah.
Like,
Watch your six. Yeah.
what that is?
But someone who's been in the comments for the past few weeks has joined us live tonight. It is the man with the coolest name in the world, Winchester. Welcome to the live stream.
I know, it's so surreal. The world around me is changing.
You
Oh wait,
you
no,
won
there's,
the
there's
contest.
3 walls.
You won the
Yay!
Pick a random viewer to come on.
When are we going back to Disney?
All those boxes of cereal that you ate wasn't for
Yeah.
nothing.
All those
Sending all
codes.
boxes, stops in. Yeah.
But we haven't started
Yeah.
recording this episode of the podcast yet. We're going to do that in a minute. But we just want to say hi to everybody on YouTube. We got a couple people in here, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thousands of people
Billions.
Thousands.
Minus
Millions.
up with the chat. But we love for you to chat with us while you're all live streaming, or while we're live streaming. And if you chat with us, then we have you on the show. That's just how it works. Right? That's how it works.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you're persistent and
Oh gosh.
I mean,
And if you get me on Smuggler's Run,
Oh. Why is
without having
everybody,
to go
Hey.
through the
everybody's
hey, I
recycling.
did that all the time, and I want to make a little section where I'm just talking about magical moments and little run-ins here and there, because I've got some pretty good stories.
So I'm going to mention this once we start recording the podcast, but Winchester is a resident of Batuu. I guess we'll say that anyways, or something like that. He works at
Friend
Galaxy's
of
Edge.
Batuu.
I'm a citizen.
Yeah, citizen of Batuu. He works at Galaxy's Edge. That's where I met him. I was carrying around my Darksaber that I've shown on him before, and he showed me his broom saber.
Yeah.
And it was
I don't know
magical
why.
experience.
Everything is
You
jumping
gotta
around.
love the pan and broom.
What's wrong, Cadron? We still having technical
It's something on
difficulties?
my end. Everything is changing size on me for some reason. But we'll try it. We'll see what happens.
Anyways, and he's a member of the 501st. So I thought, what better night to
Yeah.
have you on than we're going to get to all this than the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. So,
Oh, of course.
are you guys ready to officially start recording?
Oh gosh. I guess.
Why not?
Oh, it's not jumping on around on my
It
screen.
will in a minute. It takes a minute. Chris is huge
Yeah.
right now. I don't know why it's doing this.
Well, he is kind of a big deal.
He is.
Say I have it set. I'm not touching anything.
No, it's not you guys. It's me.
We just waved our hands around. Oh, there's Chris going big.
Oh my
Yeah, there we
gosh.
go.
This is
Oh, nice.
It hasn't done
This is
this in
what
a
I
while.
want.
I don't know why it does this. I
Okay.
even told it to lock.
He got rid of Winchester and just got Chris really big.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all just me.
I don't know why.
Well, should we just record?
Yeah, we're good.
I'll
fix it.
Oh, there it goes. It goes back.
It won't affect the
I'll
podcast.
fix. I'm working it.
Now it's just Winchester's top.
Yeah, you'll
This
see
is
him move
eyes.
around in a second. It's great. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
That's awesome.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to start the.
Go for it.
It's been one of those days,
Yep.
people. It's been one of those days. I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll get to that. I'll write that down.
Been one of those days.
Get been one of those. Are you actually just writing down been one of those days?
Let
me write that down.
Emphasis on been one of those days.
You misspelled Ben.
I meant spelled, yeah.
Been so low.
B-E-N.
Yeah, Kenobi.
Those Ben Kenobi. Anyways, okay, here we go. Ready?
Mhm.
5, 4. I've never done this before. 3.
Dork.
We're okay. Ready, here we go. Hello and welcome to iamGEEK, and this is episode 148. We are back again for another fun-filled episode on the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back.
Woo.
Everybody's excited.
Yes.
Because
Got my
it's the
Hoth
40th
jersey on.
anniversary, of Empire Strikes Back, I decided we need to have a Star Wars guest on. Now, I could have went with, Harrison Ford or, Mark Hamill. I mean, I could have probably got, I could have got Kathleen Kennedy to come on.
She's not doing anything.
The Mandalorian himself.
Ryan Johnson. We could have gotten anybody.
Yeah.
Well, we are best friends. But no. I decided to get somebody who's even more important. Somebody that changes people's lives on a daily basis. Somebody that puts smiles on children's faces and on adults' faces and everybody's faces. He's a member of the 501st, which if you don't know what the 501st is, stay tuned because you're going to find out.
We'll tell you later.
And a citizen of Batuu in Galaxy's Edge. Welcome. He's one of our watchers, listeners. He is a fan of this show, I think, and we're a fan of his for all he does. Winchester, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, doing as best as I can, surrounded by 3 walls, and I feel safe. What's going on?
Like 3 walls?
Yeah, 3 walls.
Okay.
Typical sitcom format, right?
Oh, okay.
3 walls. All right.
Exist. Okay.
He's got a live studio audience in front of him.
Nice.
Absolutely. So yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny though if he did have a live studio audience in front of him?
It's just my parents sitting there.
We need a soundboard.
Yeah. Woo, yeah. Boo. So on Batuu, do you go by? Do you guys have like? I haven't even looked. Do you go by your real names, or do you have like Star Wars names that you go by?
So I'll actually grab my name tag. It is what connects me to the company, even though I am no longer a cast member.
Aww.
Because we were informed because I was a college program participant that our program has ended.
Mm-hmm.
So. Disney, we go by a first name basis with preferred names, and at first they're like, "Oh, it's just a nickname," and I was like, "Okay, Winnie." I don't know if you can see that, but it says Winnie in like the pseudo Arabic and the Arabic underneath it instead of saying where you're from, because of course you're from Batuu, and I'm from Batuu at least, and then. The first day, I was like, okay, I'm tired of people calling me Winnie because I had higher-ups calling me Winnie. I was like, okay, that's a weird little, like, power thing. So I went with Winchester, which is my legal name.
Nice.
I was going to say, my dad just retired. I have 30 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections.
Nice.
My sisters are named Remington Beretta. I have a brother named Ruger.
Wow.
And I live on a white-tailed deer farm. So
wow.
That's incredible.
If that doesn't say anything about my family, I don't know what does. Just opened up another can of worms to be set off to the side and never mentioned again. But absolutely.
I apologize. I do have a technical thing we have to do real fast. It's going to stay in the episode because I'm not going to take time. Do you happen to have earphones?
Oh, give me a second. Let me see if I can connect them.
Our voices that come through.
Let me see if I can connect them.
Okay. If not, I'll be fine. So while he's doing that, we'll get back into that. But Katrin and Chris saw a movie that blew their socks off.
Well, luckily, I wasn't wearing socks at the time.
Me neither, actually.
So.
That's the beauty of this.
You guys saw
right?
the premiere of Scoob, right?
Scoob.
Yes, Scoob. Just Scoob. Because it's not a Scooby-Doo movie, it's Scoob.
Scoob.
Oh.
I can't not... Okay, so I have friends that worked on it. I was going to work on it. I left the company that was working on it to go work on something really awesome. But, so, like... So, but they did... The workers did awesome work on it. They did their best with it. The story for me never got there. It was a long haul to get to where it was, but it still did not do it for me.
I didn't know that you're a professional tap dancer.
Yes, that's what I left to become a professional tap dancer.
Because the way you tap dance around the answer to the question was pretty amazing.
That's what I do. But yeah, it had its moments, but overall, it just I don't know.
Fell flat. Well,
Yeah.
okay. So we said this earlier. It's if you don't think of it as a Scooby-Doo movie, then it's enjoyable. If you think of it as these kooky kids doing there's these things like Scooby-Doo did, or the Mystery Inc. did, you can enjoy it. But as a Scooby-Doo kind of reboot or remake, it's just weird.
Yeah, 'cause I grew up a Scooby fan. Like I'm a huge
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo. I've watched almost everything. Even they put movies out. Like they still do the 2D movies every year, and I still watch those. I've seen
The 2D.
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 I thought you said 2D. The 2D movies,
you know.
You know,
Facts of life.
The Facts of Life. They paired up with them.
they
at
did it
one
with
point.
they
It
paired
was
up with
good.
about everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, but yeah, it just didn't feel like Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Scooby Doo himself, looked like Scooby, acted like Scooby. He like Katrin, you said he talks way too much.
Yeah, that's my biggest complaint is he just talks, and
And
it's pretty
Go
immediate.
ahead.
When he starts talking, you're just like, what is happening? Go ahead.
yeah, and Shaggy for the most part was good. I don't know why they didn't get Matthew Lillard to play Shaggy, because
Exactly.
basically it was they hired an
didn't he?
yeah, he would have done it in a heartbeat, I think.
Yeah,
But they got Will Forte because he's a bigger actor. He'll bring in the
No.
the crowds. Yes, I don't know, but it's just him doing a Shaggy impression.
and it's not good.
So yeah, and then Fred and Daphne and Velma are just kind of the side. They don't really do anything, and Fred just looks weird to me.
All right. We're back
Oh,
finally.
he's back.
Hey!
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah,
Save us from
we
this.
got
screen.
it. My AirPod finally connected.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not a sponsor, but they could be. All right.
They are nice.
But not to completely rag on the movie, because your kid liked it.
My kid loved
Charlie
it.
liked
Yeah, we watched it twice because you paid
And-
for 48 hours.
And I know a bunch of kids like it.
Yeah.
Seems
Oh,
like
yeah.
children are liking it. So I mean, I think for kids, but as an adult, I don't think you're going to enjoy it. And as an adult Scooby fan,
So
I had sorry, real quick. I did have a friend on Facebook say that he and he's my age, maybe a little bit older, but he as a Scooby-Doo fan, he thought it was great. He said it brought back so many memories, and occasionally it did. Like there's this one thing where it says Casey's something was the name of a store. They kind of threw that in there for Casey Kasem, and there were some retro things that happened in the movie that you're like, oh, that's cool. And it had some cool parts, but it just didn't really feel like a Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah, the beginning of it when they're going to a haunted house and their kids and stuff like that, I thought was great.
Yeah.
And they did a recreation of the opening intro of original Scooby Doo,
Yes.
and that was really good. But then it just kind of devolved after that, and it just wasn't Scooby Doo.
So would you say, to bring it back around, would you say that Scoob is the last Jedi of the Scooby-Doo universe?
No. It's the beginning of the Hanna-Barbera universe. Because you saw those credits. You saw Jabberjaw. You saw McGillicuddy. No,
No
but
spoilers.
the little references here and there.
Yeah, there were references.
A little reference.
Yeah,
Because there's Peebles Pet Store.
yeah,
and
it's not a
everything,
huge.
and-
It's not a huge spoiler. It's in the credits. It's there.
Well,
No, I didn't even watch past the credits because I was just like, oh, okay, I gotta go to bed. It's 2 a.m. So,
Yeah, it's they should have concentrated on doing a Scooby Doo movie instead of trying to build a Hanna-Barbera universe.
but the thing is, there's gonna be a sequel. and it's the first of many.
We'll see. If they have time. The Rotten Tomatoes for the audience thing is pretty bad. Like, it's pretty low. So I don't know. If it makes money, they'll make a sequel. But
how does that work now with movies? Like, how does it make money to get a sequel when they're not in the theater anymore?
It's basically making money with the video on demand. That's replacing it.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I can see it making money. I mean, Trolls 2 did really well. I can see this.
I like Trolls 2.
I didn't like Trolls 2.
I haven't seen Trolls.
I didn't like.
Oh,
Trolls.
you didn't like it?
Neither have I.
Oh, I thought it was fun.
I liked the first one way better. The second one, they sang every 5 minutes they were singing a new song, and it was just like.
About that.
And they were remakes of.
I like music, so.
Oh, I do too, but they like in the first one they sang the words of the song that you remember. But on this one, it seemed like they made new words to songs.
Well, I mean, they had Tiny Diamond, so what do you expect?
But I didn't care for it.
Anyways,
but to each his own.
Yeah, let's get back. I mean, it wasn't the best movie, but it was fun. I mean, maybe because I watched it with my little kids and they were dancing around having fun. Anyways.
And with Scooby, I don't want to tell anybody not to watch it. I just want to say that I don't want to say don't watch this movie. I never want to say that. If you want to watch this movie. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't want to watch it, don't want to.
But Chris says don't watch it.
He said don't watch it. Yeah.
I think that's. Go watch it, but wait till it's not $20.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
wait for it to be in the bargain bin.
$20. Yeah.
Find someone with an Amazon Prime account who's already bought it and push off that.
Oh man, we're getting. Let's go back to Batuu.
All right, let's go.
So you changed your name legally. Did you have to go? Did you see Doc about changing your name legally back to
Doc
Winchester
Ondar.
from Winnie, or did you have to go see Oga, or how did that work?
I mean, it's just a preference. Winnie's a nickname. I hopped on my transport back to Galma, went into my dwelling underground where all the pod racing is, and picked up my new name tag because Oga's got to make her credits. I got to sweep the streets, pay off my debts. That's about it.
So there's pod racing underground there.
Not on Blackspire Outpost, but
Oh.
where I'm from a settlement called Galma. It's where all the not so legal things happen. I lost some money on some pod races and some droid fights, and guess who that money is owed to? Oga Gara herself.
Yeah.
So I get shipped to BSO every day, and I sweep the streets, and I may keep a few trinkets for myself to sell to Doc because Hondo doesn't pay enough. Everyone knows Hondo doesn't pay enough, so you got to make a living somehow.
So you're like living in Animal Crossing. Is that what?
Da, 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 da.
Okay. Makes
So
sense.
do you think? Now I'm talking to Winchester here, the
Yeah.
guy in his home, not the Batuu citizen. Do you think? We'll just switch back and forth.
I'm both at this point.
One and the
Do
same.
you think
Come on,
you'll
bro.
go back? Will you go back and work there, or do you think it's done?
Well, that's not really up to me. I was a Disney College program participant, and I was supposed to be there for 6 months. I got to work for a month and a half. I enjoyed my time there. I met so many incredible people just working there, and also guests or travelers, whatever. I wasn't allowed to mention the mouse by name, so I mean, it's not up to me. I wasn't able to pick where I worked either for my role. So you were a college program participant too, right?
Yeah.
So
I did not have as good a time as you did.
oh, sorry about that. But I mean, it was an online application which led to a web-based interview, and then you so you submit your resume, you do a web-based interview, and then you go through all these processes, however you pronounce it, and then you get potentially a phone interview, and then you talk to a recruiter, and that's how they make their magic. They put you where you'd want to be placed, but it's not always guaranteed. The 501st was actually on my resume, and in big bold letters it said, invited guests to live their Star Wars story alongside. Because when I'm in costume, I mean, yes, it's for a non-profit thing or a movie premiere or whatever, a con. Who knows if those will ever happen again, any of those things I just said. But, I mean, you're just a person in a costume inviting people to relive their childhood or show them a world that they don't know yet. Because I wear a costume that's based on something from 1976. I mean, it's a New Hope TIE pilot that was seen for like 4 seconds. And I hang out with stormtroopers on the weekends and stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so the recruiters, that's how they would make their magic. They would put college kids in where they'd want to go. And it's any role. Like, I was a custodian. Shout out to Black Spire Sanitation. But, yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's
to live on Batuu is something else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember when I did it. It's been a long, long time ago.
Late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere
in there. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
after
forget.
college, right?
1967.
No, it was like right before. I mean, it was my second to last semester of
Like
college.
2000,
It's when I had to do
2001,
my
somewhere around there.
internship, something like that.
1975.
Yeah. I don't remember them giving us an option of saying where we want to be. I should have put 501st on my
Oh yeah, that's
resume.
something that
Because I worked in a restaurant in a gourmet restaurant from when I was in like freshman, sophomore in high school, all through college. So they saw that and they're like, "Oh, line cook."
Yeah.
And that had nothing to do with my major in college. So when I got there and I was given that job, my university said, "We're not going to give you credit for this." So
That's crazy.
because they promised, not to bash on the college program, but they promised I was going to be able to take classes. I was going to be able to be in something that was in my major. And when I got there, they put me there in Tony's Town Square. And I worked from 3 p.m. to midnight, like most days of the week, with only one break that was at 3 p.m. From 3 p.m. to 3:30, that was my break. It was a different time back then. I know it wasn't that long ago, but
I was gonna say it's a lot more relaxed now.
not back
I mean,
then.
I didn't get to choose where I went, but I mean, they just did something nice. It doesn't happen to everyone.
Yeah.
It's completely random. There was a spot open,
Yeah.
so they just put me there. I was cleaning trash cans, taking out trash, and cleaning toilets and other codes. I mean,
Oh, you had to clean toilets? I'm sorry.
yeah,
You probably had to clean up some of my messes.
Bippity boppity
no,
boop.
it's all right. No code H's.
No,
code
you should
H's.
accept his apology for that. That's-
I have a
No,
phone
because-
condition.
It's only 40% actually cleaning and 60% guest interaction. So that was the fun part. I think that I'm able to talk to people well because I don't know why. It's just innate for me. But I don't know. I enjoy it. I wish I didn't close every night. But if that's the only gripe that I had, I mean, it's a good time no matter what.
Mhm.
But it's very cool there at nighttime. The
Oh,
lighting, it's
yes.
very beautiful. Yeah, but that you were walking around, interacting, doing your job, and I just happened to be
Yeah.
there with my dark saber, and you asked about it, and you showed me your lightsaber, your broom, and I
And
asked you if
Canto
you,
Bite was born.
yeah, I asked you if you were a broom boy from the Last Jedi, all grown up. Which you
Yeah.
probably got offended, but you're like, no, I work in Batuu. I got to be nice.
Well, I was going to say the whole thing is it's just like when you're working on Batuu, you're just like, what is Star Wars?
yeah,
You'd kind of get like the kind of like a little visual reprimand where it's just like, hey, you probably shouldn't mention Star Wars. And it's just like, oh, I can see the fireworks. That must be the War of the Stars that everyone keeps talking about. Or something like that.
But
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, supposedly my picture was backstage, is what they told me. That they took the PhotoPass people took a picture of me with Darksaber, and they said, "You're backstage as part of the picture of the week."
Nice
thing, and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." But I don't think they're supposed to tell me that. There's like, we're not supposed to tell you this, but we have your picture backstage.
If someone mentioned Star Trek, can you say, "Oh, I love Star Trek. Like I watch that every week."
We've heard about transmissions coming in. There was a traveler in his, I'd say, late 50s, early 60s, who is in a Spock shirt. And he's just like, he just walked up to me because I wore that big mushroom hat. I call it the rice farming hat.
Yeah.
And this guy walks up to me and he's like, "Hey, I like your hat." And I looked down at his shirt. I was like, "Hey, I really like your shirt." Because it was a genuine compliment. Like, we are encouraged to compliment things that contract from the Disney brand, even though I don't work for the company anymore. And I mean, I don't represent them, but I want to show them in a good light because they've done so much for me throughout my entire life, even in the most minuscule of detail or minute of details. So yeah, there's a guy in a Spock shirt, and he's just like, "I've never seen Star Wars, but I'm going to just because I see it and it's real and it's something absolutely amazing." And the people that immerse you in it, because I mean, it's a community. It's sometimes not the best community, but there's good people in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did see a video of someone that a girl that dressed up all Star Trek, and security came to escort her.
Well, if you're in a full costume, like if you're in a full costume, that's something else.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, I mean, it was like a long red shirt with the Star Trek emblem on it, and she was asking the characters, or she was asking Ray specifically stuff about Star Trek. And security came and found her and said, "You can't be doing that," and they told her to move along.
These aren't the scams you're looking for.
Yeah, see what I did there? So is there any funny, weird stories you could share from your time on Batuu?
I have gotten permission to say a few stories.
Oh.
As from other people from Batuu.
Look at that. We feel special now.
Yeah, I was asking all my friends last night. I was like, "Hey, is it okay if I mention this story?" And they're like, "Go for it. Just mention me by name." I was like, "Okay, I will." But and I was like, "I'll send you the link afterwards. It'll be okay." But I was gonna say, besides magical moments that we'd make, which are completely random, like we run into some cool people. Like I ran into Ordinary Adventures one day.
Oh, very nice.
I ran into you. Yeah, I saw your face. I ran into you. Someone saw Adam the Woo and the Tim Tracker one day. And the most famous person that one of us has ran into, my friend Ben, was sweeping near the village, which is headed towards Toy Story Land. And he said, a tall, older gentleman walked towards him with a baseball cap and sunglasses on and handed him a token. He said, "Can you please escort me to the VIP restroom, please?" And he looks down at the token. He says, "Sir, you can't buy this. May I ask who you are?" He said the man took off his hat, took off his sunglasses, and shining in the light of the day, Ben says he looked up and he said, "John?" It was John Williams.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He had come to visit Batuu because, of course, he composed the music.
Yeah.
And, of course, just John Williams, of all people. And So he took him to the VIP room, which I will not disclose where it is.
Where is it?
But it's
next to the pod
but it's
race.
in one of the buildings
Pod
with some nice security, and there is a wall with every single lightsaber you could possibly build or buy on Batuu there, and it is amazing. I've been there once. I had to clean a trash can, and so he said he took John Williams there, and he just nodded his head, and like that was it. He was building a lightsaber the next day and just like sitting out in broad daylight, but no one could tell it was him unless it was like a diehard fan because he had his hat and sunglasses on, and he was with his wife.
Wow.
So
Can you imagine if you're building a lightsaber and you look to your right and there's John Williams building a lightsaber beside you?
yeah,
That would
like
be. I would literally just pass out. I'd be like, "Yep, this is it," and I'd just fall over, like Star Wars complete.
But the cool thing is Ben is like 6'1", and I don't know how John Williams can't be much taller than that. He's probably like 6'3", 6'4". He says he just looked up. He's like, John, because Disney's on a first name basis, of course.
Yeah.
You've got Winchester. I mean, everyone's first name. So it's just like, yeah, that's me. And he's like, okay, I'll take you. Here you go. But
next question: where do you get one of these VIP tokens? Because
Yeah. There you go.
I have no idea. If I knew, I would be there more because the one time I went to clean, they're just like, hey, can I get you anything? Can I get you a soda? Can I get you some candy? Would you like to sit down and relax? And I just look at them kind of perplexed, like, I'm on shift. I can't right now, or else I would. And they're like, oh, no, we're about to close up for the day. Like, take something. And so they gave me something. And I was like, could I take a picture? And they're like, yeah, you can take pictures. So I have a picture of me in costume next to this wall with lightsabers on it. And I'm just looking all sweaty with my pan and broom because it's a hot day.
That's awesome. Yeah, if that had been me, I'd been like, oh, I could take something? Okay. And just grab all the lightsabers. And just like,
no, it's just like sit down, relax.
Sounds like the DVC lounge.
Yeah.
I'm still wondering about the coin though. Do they have just the one coin, or do you have like a pocket that you only can use so many? So like, well, I need to go to the bathroom and I need to do this.
Sorry,
so
you're out of
divide
coins.
these coins up. Like, dang it!
I don't care who you are. You're out of coins.
I want to drink and a Ronto wrap though. What do I do?
I don't know. I can't help you.
This is so it's a bathroom, but it has attendants in there too.
It's not a bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Imagine like a 5-star
lounge?
DVC lounge
without any rooms. Yeah, like but nicer. Like to the T. Like everything's so nice, so polished. There's
I thought I was a big wig. Yeah, with my DVC lounge, because I'm a DVC member, so I get to go to the DVC lounges, and I just walk straight in there like.
You can see where the Rainbow Tunnel used to be.
Yeah.
Without going. Yeah.
They're fun. I always take.
Hang out with Fig.
Yeah, when I go with friends, I'm like, you guys need to sit down, have a snack or something, and they're like, that'd be great. I'm like, well, follow me, and I feel like I'm something special.
Follow me.
I'm not, but you know.
Yeah, you don't have the coin.
But yeah, it's just those little magical moments that like we do for people. I remember one time this is another story of a friend. His name's Kevin, like my best friend on the program, and he said a little boy came up to him and he kind of like tugged on his shirt tail and he's like, "Hey, where's Darth Vader?" And
he's dead.
No, he's just like, sadly, Darth Vader. He's from the Legends, but he's not here on Batuu. Because like there's books that say like Darth Vader has came through Black Spire Outpost and all of this, and he's like the kid was disappointed. And the mom says, "Hey, sorry, he's on the spectrum, but like he's a really big fan of Anakin, and like that's all he wanted to do." And of course, you can go meet Darth Vader off planet and launch pad where Chewbacca and BB-8 are, but Kevin said, "No, wait here." But first, like, is there anything else that he loves besides Anakin and Darth Vader?
Mickey
and
Mouse.
she says he loves stormtroopers. And so Kevin says he goes running. He finds a battalion. He explains the situation, and they bring all of them back. There's 8 stormtroopers in formation, marching down the streets of Batuu, or the streets of Black Spire Outpost. And they're like, identification, the little kid just like perks up. And it was the coolest thing
That's cool.
ever. And like they marched around and everything.
Wow.
It's awesome.
It was something to see.
But did he? I wonder if he got to see Darth Vader though. Because you could see him over at the.
Day, later in the day, I almost guarantee it. But because like we get those questions where it's just like, oh, where's Darth Vader? Where's Luke? I remember I was cleaning a trash can in the queue line for Rise of the Resistance, and this high schooler kid's like, hey, you like cleaning trash cans? I was like, yeah, actually I do. Like, it's what makes me money. He's like, I bet you hang out with Luke Skywalker all the time. I was like, Luke Skywalker, he died in the Battle of Crate. And the kid just like perks up and he's like, what? I was like, yeah, he's been dead for a few years now. Like, he died in the Battle of Crate. And they're just like, how do you? I was like, I've heard the legends. And they're just like,
So when does Galaxy's Edge?
It's right after Last Jedi.
It's right after. Okay, for some reason I thought it was.
Rise of Skywalker.
I thought it was between Force Awakens and Last Jedi, but it's after Last Jedi. Okay.
It's just because trying to block Last Jedi out of your head.
Yeah, maybe
there's
that's
a lot of
trying to block it out of my head.
And it's a Groundhog's Day thing where the Resistance landed in the forest like a month ago, and the First Order landed 2 weeks ago trying to look for the scavenger girl in a tall walking carpet looking thing because they know where the coaxium is, which the Millennium Falcon ties into the coaxium, which leads to hyperspace and all
Bill
that.
Murray's walking around constantly.
Okay, so here's my next question. This is not on you. This is about the creators of Galaxy's Edge. If it takes place after The Last Jedi, why is Kylo Ren wearing a helmet in Batuu?
Because he broke it in the Last Jedi. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, like he doesn't have the helmet at the end.
Everything's falling apart. It's chaos.
I don't know. Ask the subreddit.
You've ruined everything.
I thought that it took place after Force Awakens because he still has his helmet. Rey doesn't carry around a lightsaber. She's got the staff.
It could happen sometime during The Last Jedi.
There you go.
Maybe that's what.
Yeah.
That is a possibility. But we were told sometime in between the beginning of The Last Jedi and the beginning of Rise of Skywalker.
I'll accept that.
They're trying to ignore The Last Jedi as well. They're just trying to forget it as well. It's just like
Maybe so. Now, Winchester may be a fan of The Last Jedi, and if you are, I'm sorry.
I'll never say it. I know everyone's opinion. But being in the 501st. Yeah. I'm all ears.
No,
the one question.
Oh, no, the one question you want to answer. Whether you like The Last Jedi or not.
Yeah.
I
you don't
mean,
have to answer.
am I the largest fan of all the movies? No, but do I enjoy them? Immensely. Do I advocate for all the movies? Of course, because you want to keep that positivity because the fan base is kind of getting on. Oh, I say kind of very loosely. Kind of getting toxic online, where they're showing hate towards actors and all this other stuff. I mean, if it wasn't The Last Jedi, it'd be The Phantom Menace. But I mean, I love.
Be a tap dancer. Look at this guy.
I was gonna say, I appreciate them all. Some aren't my favorite. I'm looking at you, Attack of the Clones. But
what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Return of the Jedi. Through and through.
Me too.
I'm a really big fan of puppetry. I love Jim Henson and all his work. And being so close to Muppet Vision on Galaxy's Edge. I mean, you got to pick up things. Because even though we're not supposed to mention Disney things, we kind of sneak stuff in here and there. Like people carrying Kermit dolls, and I was like, oh, what's this alien? Like, I'd like to inquire about it. And they're like, oh, he's pretty famous, don't you know? I was like, yeah, I've actually been studying him and like their vocal patterns. And they're like, what? I'd be like, hello, Kermit the Frog here. And I'm like, and they'd freak out. They would freak, and I'd like sing Rainbow Connection to it, and they'd be like, "What are you doing?" And I'd be like, I was like, "Why aren't they communicating back? Like, I've been studying this for years." And they're just like, I was like, "Yeah, lots of fun." Or like, I'd be near the garage, and they'd be like, "Hey, where's the Millennium Falcon?" And I couldn't, like, I wasn't doing anything. I was like, "I'll take you." And like we get to Oga's because I take the long way around. If I don't have a task, I'll take the long way. I'm like, there it is, the eighth wonder of the planet, the backside of. Wait a minute, the Millennium Falcon. That always gets a clap. I was so happy.
That's
Great.
awesome.
But yeah,
So
We have a question.
oh, we got a question.
yeah.
I'm not sure what it means.
Everyone's like, a question?
Oh my
From our
goodness.
father. It's a
Okay.
it's a dad joke.
Okay, I'm all ears. Let's go.
I'm not sure what it means.
I don't know. Is he talking about?
Hold on, I'll check the chat right now.
I think he's talking about.
I think he is
Stormtroopers.
too. I just wasn't sure.
I think so.
Yes. The answer is yes. Moving right on. Move along.
I mean, I was a custodian. If I wasn't on Batuu, I would wear all white. So there's that. Thank you, Mr. Street.
If you want to see that question, just go to our live stream on YouTube if you're listening online or on a podcast. Okay, so we'll ask him about it later.
Yeah.
I had a question.
Alright.
Oh, okay. So I have a couple questions. First, before I forget about
Okay.
it.
Hopefully, I have answers.
If you can't answer this question, just say Oga doesn't allow it or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know where the entrance for the Star Cruiser is going to be in Black Spire Outpost?
You can see it on Walt Disney property driving by Hollywood Studios. So yes.
Okay.
You drive. I can say you drive from speculation. You can drive in where the old entrance was that they tore down. That's only speculation, though, and I don't want to spread rumors, but more than likely.
Okay. So one of those facades in Black Spire is going to be where people come through from when they take the shuttle.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
No one has been told exactly, because even with closures and everything, CNN, ABC, they all knew before cast members knew. So everything's speculation right now.
Okay. Because I was there last time. I was looking at the different.
I do have reasonable beliefs on where it could be.
Okay.
Because Disney has put out patents for buses that don't have windows to the outside world, but rather through the stars. And they do excursions to Black Spire Outpost. And there are several ports in the area where they could unload.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That is all I will say
Yeah, that's fine.
on that. I mean,
It was
hopefully
a fun...
that answers your question.
No. Yeah, it was a fun game for me when I was there by myself.
It was like, where's it going to be?
Different place. Like, where is it going to be there, or is it going to be over?
Is
here?
it going to be this giant resistance wall that everyone takes pictures by? Or is it going to be by the First Order gate? I don't know.
Yeah, no one knows.
I don't know.
A question that you can answer.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite food that you've tried or eaten on Batuu or Black Spire?
Speaking from a cast member perspective, we were blocked out of Hollywood Studios. So I did pay to get in once.
Okay.
We were let in once for the preview of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Nothing can stop us now. It took 11 days.
Nothing can stop us now. I don't know how. Sorry.
Gonna make it happen. I know it through and through. Don't get me started. I could do the Mickey voice, but I'm concentrating not to do it. So my favorite thing to eat I really, really enjoyed traditional Ronto wrap. The vegan meatballs I've tried, they're not bad. I didn't know they were vegan. I thought they were beef. Had no complaints.
There you go.
Also, hot take: blue milk is way better than green milk. I know there's people out there that'll fight me on that.
I think
People
they're
that
both
I work
disgusting.
Blue milk is a lot better, in my opinion, because it's fruity. It's fruity. It's like a slushy consistency. And not being of age, I can't try the other concoctions. At Oga's, I would get like a Java Juice or a Hyperdrive, which is just juice flavored.
I love the
with
carbon
weird
freeze.
things. Carbon freeze.
Oh, it's good.
I was gonna say, I mean, I turned 20 last week, so I've got a year. If we open back up, that's the first place I'm going. So we're gonna try a few things.
Yeah. I tried the milk. I was not a fan at all. Like, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. It wouldn't go away.
Well, it's non-dairy, so
yeah, it's
like if you go into it knowing that it's not actually milk, it's like coconut and rice milk with like a dragon fruit concentrate and all that
potpourri.
Potpourri.
It comes out of some giant animal that you milk.
Okay, bantha milk. I don't know what's the thing he milks on Acto. I've been asking so many people. I was on a Zoom call with all these stormtroopers from all around the state in the Midwest Garrison.
I want to be
And
on
one
that
of
Zoom call.
One of them was a walking encyclopedia, and I was just like, "Hey, what's that alien called?" And he's just like, "I don't know." I was like, "What? You don't know something?" And he's just like,
Gotta look it up now.
"I don't know." Yeah, the thing that Luke Skywalker milks on Acto.
I'm kind of afraid of what this is going to produce. When I ask.
You can milk anything.
You can milk anything.
I got nipples, Greg. Can you milk
Can you milk me?
There's got to be a name to it. I don't remember.
A thalasiren.
Oh, come on.
A Thal Siren.
Yeah.
Not as cool as a bantha.
No.
Never will be as cool
Terrible.
as a bantha.
No,
It's got a gonzo nose.
Yeah,
Long
it's just
neck.
weird.
it doesn't look like it can move at all. Like it's
No.
It's just sitting there waiting for fake Luke to drink from
Is
him.
it kind of
It's like a,
is that kind
I
of
knew
like
you'd be back.
the Yoda moment, you know, in
Where he's like, "Oh, a flashlight. It's mine."
yeah,
You're like, "Oh, a knife."
because like when Yoda has the little bowl of whatever that they're eating and it's just gross,
Yeah.
kind of, you know, and is that supposed to be that
Which you,
kind of moment? I don't know.
I'm so
I
sorry.
don't know.
I just want to start with this creature on it, and it says in the caption, "I knew you'd be back."
come on, Daddy.
Goodness me.
Oh
Yeah.
man!
I'm gonna have to clean my hands with the bottle of hand sanitizer that Disney gave us right before we left.
Nice.
Really, I mean, it's how it's sitting. I think is the worst
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
you do that?
It's like a couch potato. It's just
very
like,
aware. Like it's just it has an awareness. That
it's just like I'm waiting.
You know you
boys.
like it.
it
Yeah.
knows what's going on. It's just like
Oh
I
man!
don't know.
Out of
Oh,
all things, that's the tangent. Let's go. So what's the name again, Chris?
It is. I gotta read
It's
it.
like-
Again. A thalasiren. It's,
sounds like
it's
some
Thala
medicine
siren.
you take,
Thalasiren.
some
Yeah.
like antibiotic you take
Yeah.
or something.
And if you didn't think you learned anything on this podcast, you did now. A
Oh,
Thala
I
siren.
learn something new every week.
I mean, like a siren. I mean, is something that lures men in.
Yeah.
So I mean,
After
I
they
guess.
harpoon a giant
Yeah.
fish. Yeah.
I mean, maybe he doesn't want to drink the milk. It's just it's a siren. It lures him in to drink its milk. For some reason,
Wow.
Yeah.
slowly poisoning him.
Drink.
Slowly.
Because
That's why
in the movie, it doesn't even look like he enjoys it because he's like,
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah,
No,
that's
it-
so weird.
Winston is out. He's like,
he's
So
not enjoying it.
That's what killed Luke. It was this
It's not-
weird
The
siren.
thought
The
of
thought of
siren
siren.
killed him. It lured him in and slowly killed him with its green milk.
Yes, that makes the movie 100 times better.
I think so.
let's go. Fan theories.
You can
Yes.
see it. It knew what it was doing.
Oh, it knows.
It knows.
It
But yeah,
knows.
blue milk is better than green milk. Like, hands down. Even if you don't like them, it's better. Like, it's a better taste. Like, better aftertaste, better everything.
Well, I hope they change the formulas before it opens back up because it's just money I could spend somewhere else. Speaking of money I could spend somewhere else, do you have a favorite
Knick-knack.
knick-knack, something from
Paddywhack?
Doc? Something? Give a dog a bone.
Give a dog a bone. If you can't see behind me, I mean, I have my I don't know if you can see behind me, but I mean, I have a deck of Sabak, a Sabak deck, which we learned how to play, and we could carry it around with us while we worked. And if we weren't doing anything, you could play people.
Oh,
That's cool.
And like kind of be a card shark. That's really cool. I picked up some postcards. I need to get Ryan's address so I can send him one because it's all destinations around the Star Wars universe.
Oh, cool.
It's only the low price of $19.99.
postcards.
You need to find someone with one of those coins and play him for that and get the coin.
A Spira? Well,
That's what you need.
okay. So I looked so hard for a Spira. My friend got one. I need to get.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
you wanna?
No, I
this
meant one.
guy's
I
the
meant
fake
one of
The
the.
celebrity
I
coins.
meant one of the
That's the fake
celebrity
one, isn't it?
coins.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
This is my celebrity coin. I wonder if I take it. This is my VI. Somebody gave this to me. Someone gave this to me when I was walking out of Doc Ondar's. I had my Darksaber, and they saw me and they go, "Are you the guy from Reddit with the Darksaber?" And I was like, "I guess."
Are you the guy?
He's like, "This is for you," and he handed me the coin. Oh, that's cool.
nice.
It's an Oga's coin,
That's cool.
and on the back it's the
Wow.
Up poster. I don't know if you can see
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
that. I was gonna say the
Bigger
5 stars. I have the
You can
complete
reveal.
set. They're somewhere else. I'm not gonna touch them right now.
That's a coaster, Ryan.
So,
I do have a bloody. I used to have a bloody Rancor coin. That was what
Wow.
that coaster was,
Yeah.
and I traded it for someone from the Rebel Legion in line for the Mid Adventures of Winnie the Pooh ride. Because I saw his shirt and I was like, "Hey, do you have your coin on you?" Because it's a large thing in the 501st
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
always carry a coin on you. Because it dates back to I think like World War I or II,
Wow.
where it's like an Englishman went over to French lines and they gave him a coin because he was an ally, and then he got lost again and went over lines and showed the coin. They're like, "Oh, you're my friend," so it's okay.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I got a few Black Spire Outpost coins. These aren't official 501st coins, but
Oh,
if
that's
someone
cool.
coin check,
That's cool.
yeah, it's the Disney D, and on the other side's the Black Spire Outpost
Oh,
logo.
wow.
I can
Mm,
see that.
that's cool.
You can buy those all online. I'll send a link if you really want them.
Yeah. Send a link.
Will do. I was going
Um,
to say, I've been going through Etsy trying to find stuff. Like, I found a pin, an enamel pin of the trash cans that I used to work with.
Oh, cool.
that's
And
cool.
it's weird because they came out on a little cardstock, and I was like, I know exactly what trash can that is. That's Cantina T3. And everyone's like, what? I was like, it's that one because where it's at, I know exactly where it is. And they're like, weird, but okay.
That's
Yeah.
information. That's,
Do you have a
Yeah,
favorite
merchant-
favorite lightsaber at Doc's?
At Doc's, I know it's controversial because of the changing hilt because it can't hold a blade, but I'm really set on Episode 6, Luke. I mean, I have an Anakin saber. It's not Doc's. It's like a Hasbro Black Series saber. But I just love the look of it. Return of the Jedi being my favorite movie. Like, I need to have a part of it with me, and I don't have it.
Yeah, me too.
I was gonna say, I love it. It's something else.
Yeah, I wanted to get that one until I saw you had to change out the emitter, and I was like, oh, well now it just looks like a toy again. It doesn't look like the one from the movie.
I don't mind, because at the end of the day, everything was a toy. Like,
no, they're real.
I mean, but it's weird because being in the 501st, like you do all these. It's a non-profit program where you dress up in plastic and like parade yourself around to make people smile. Like, it's the exact reason I joined Disney. Like, you just want to make people smile, but like at the end of the day, it's just people in plastic.
Yeah.
And that's
my favorite one of the. I've started customizing it a little bit.
Fancy.
So yeah, there they are. Now they changed these. They changed the Ahsoka ones.
What?
They changed them to match better to the ones she has in the show. The first batch didn't have the right colors in the diamond area. It was black, and now they've changed it.
Fun. But yeah.
Those cases. But yeah, I would
want
like
to get
all
all.
one.
Yeah, if we get all serious, hold on.
Oh, uh-oh.
Here we go.
Play this game.
So we're gonna keep playing. You know how many helmets I have? We can keep playing games all day.
And me and Kate are just gonna sit here.
You guys just sit there.
Yeah.
We're our
I have a
helmets.
coffee. Oh, you can't see the coffee.
You can't even see him.
I can. There we go. We got it now.
Oh, I got a helmet.
But yeah.
This is for the viewers.
Yeah, if you're listening, you
noticed
won't
you
see
have
us
the,
put our helmets on.
Yeah, you have the 709.
Yeah.
I put
you
my-
have the 709 flag.
My
Yeah, for those on the
Sith Trooper.
podcast, I've got like an awesome helmet on.
I've got this cool
Oh,
Can't
Sith
see
Trooper
it.
helmet. It's
I guess they're
awesome.
liars. Can you explain to the listeners and the watchers what the 709 is on the First Order flag?
Yeah, absolutely. So the 709th Legion, it's a legion of the First Order. So as you have the 501st, the 312th, and every other legion, it's like just a group of soldiers. And the 709th are the stormtroopers, TIE pilots, everything under the sun during that patrol Batuu. They make sure everything's in order. If you've been on Rise of the Resistance, you'll see more of them. And I mean, other citizens of Batuu say they oppress us, they push us down in the streets and whatnot. I say they're here to protect us because I myself am a sympathizer. I love it. I'm just trying to look for a place off the planet.
You got lured in by one of those
I do-
sirens.
No. I look white. That's it. So, like your dad said, like Gary said, I look good in white.
Yeah,
So
it's all the
it's a way
ladies.
off planet. Yeah.
Now,
So-
there are some First Order troopers that have realized that this is not the way, and they've, what do you think about this? Like this guy named Finn.
He's been on our radar for a while. I heard he's part of the Resistance, and they may or may not be in the forest. That's all I've heard about. They've been destroying the forest for a while, and honestly, I like to relax. I like to go walk sometimes and listen to the waterfall and see it. But ever since the Resistance made a base out of the area, I can't go on my walk anymore. I can't see the.
This terrorist.
They're destroying the spires.
They're eco-terrorists. That's what they are.
Oh wow. Is there a meaning behind the 709? Like, is there a reason they picked that number?
It's different than 501.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I have
I didn't know if
only the ancients know why it's 709.
I didn't know. If
I want to be part of the 99. That's
Yeah.
the Bad
the
Batch.
Bad Batch.
The 999.
No, you haven't seen the Clone Wars.
No.
Oh yeah.
So,
Say, I've
yeah.
heard the rumors.
Spoiler.
Spoil. I mean, it's not really a spoiler. I'm not going to say
It's
anything.
promoted well enough that we know that there is a 99.
Let me tell you everything that happens.
All right.
Season 1, Episode 1. We start with a. Sorry.
With a Toydarian king. And he wants to meet Yoda.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Any other Galaxy's Edge stuff that I want to know about?
He just brought you on just to question you.
No.
Well,
Oh,
that's
your
kind of
Toy
what we
Story
do.
Land is the land of toy. It has a coiled beast, and you can hear screams from the village. But thankfully, there's a space ranger, a sheriff, and some three-eyed aliens that will be able to help out.
That's awesome.
What do you think
Yeah.
about as Winchester, not as a TUI citizen? See, like I'm just going back
Yeah.
and forth. What do you think about how they've done the character interaction with I just forgot her name.
Shanghai? Or Vi?
What?
Vi
Yeah,
Marathi?
with Vi and with the stormtroopers and with Chewbacca and Rey. Like, how do you think? What do you think about that?
So I think it adds to the immersiveness of the land,
Uh-huh.
where even though Vi isn't as well known, if you read the books, it's a little something extra.
Yeah.
Because every now and then you'll hear someone yell magpie, and she'll run towards them like, "Hey, you can't say that too loud," because that's her code name.
Yeah.
Well, I'm shouting
it's-
out the whole time I'm there.
Magpie! It's like, why are all these Earth birds the names of something? But
That is true. Isn't that funny?
because there's a falcon, there's a magpie, cardinal. But Vi is a good because it's unique to the land.
Yeah.
They had to expand on her before, just so people could be familiar with her and start a conversation with her, similar to how you watch The Little Mermaid and you go to the grotto and you see Ariel. It's similar to that, how you can have a conversation. And it's the same thing with Rey. It's the same thing with Chewbacca. Because, I mean, or whatever. But, yeah. A man of many talent, many hats. But it's really cool because, like, the stormtroopers, they can push you with the backs of their hands. They can push you out of their way. They say move. Yeah. They can. Same thing with Kylo Ren. He can push you out of his way. Say move. Yeah. With his 8-pack, he can force you out of the way.
Or he's got an 8-pack.
Yeah.
Now there was when I was there was this one gentleman, and he was an officer, and let me tell you, he did a fantastic job. He had a guy literally about to cry, I'm pretty sure. Like, he was yelling at him, like people were stopped and watching, and he was telling him to stand up straight.
I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
There are a few lieutenants.
Yeah, fantastic.
And this lieutenant is on his game. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He's willing to get his answers. But the cool thing is, too, when they're free roaming, sometimes they clash with one another. And so you get these little impromptu shows where Chewie, Vi, and Rey are hiding from stormtroopers in the Falcon, and the stormtroopers are like running underneath the Falcon trying to find them, and then they like come out with Vi in handcuffs and they drag her off. Or
it's cool.
Like, it's something else. And,
I got to experience Chewbacca walking up into the Falcon, and it was just like, I was like, this is amazing. This is the greatest thing ever. Like, he just walked
into the Falcon?
Yeah, he walked up the ramp into the Falcon.
I've never seen Chewie walk into the Falcon.
It was so
It
cool.
never takes off flight.
He just he was looking at with the guy that's with him,
Handler.
or whatever you call it.
Handler.
They were
Manager.
looking underneath. Yeah,
I
they were
know
looking
plenty of-
underneath the Falcon, and then he just walks over to the ramp, waves at people, and just walks up the ramp into the Falcon.
And disappears?
Yeah, he just disappeared up in there, and then later on, a little bit later, he walked back down.
He had a coin for the bathroom.
That's where the bathroom
Is there something up in there? Or do you
it's the
can't
Only
say?
the ancients know.
Oh, okay.
Only the ancients know. Good.
But he walked up in there, which I took pictures of it. I have pictures of it. I could send them to you.
I have pictures of Chewie in the creature stall, like stuffing porgs into his satchel, and, like pushing away the merchandise. Saying, "He's like, no," and he has one hanging above his mouth and is open, and like threatening to like eat it. And I was just like, Chewie, you've learned.
That's hilarious.
Like bad Chewie, like you got a little sprint ball, like bad Chewie. Psst, psst. But
Let's see if I can find the picture. Oh no.
a cool little thing though. Ryan, have you ridden Rise of the Resistance?
Oh yes.
So many times, bro.
So
I read it twice.
I've ridden it twice as well, and when you Catron, Chris, do you mind if I mention one scene?
Catron took his ears out. He's good.
I'm fine.
The one scene where you enter and the First Order intercepts, and you enter that room with all the stormtroopers. You know how they're audio animatronics? You know how they're silent?
I peed myself a little bit. Yes.
Well, they used to have dialogue.
Oh, really?
Oh.
And Lucasfilm said, hey, that's too comedic. That doesn't fit the tone of the ride. So we're just going to have them stand in formation. But also, Lucasfilm's like, hey, we have all of this comedic dialogue that has no context. Let's give it to the stormtroopers that roam around.
Oh, that's
And so every now and then, the stormtroopers will be like, Puffer Pig. Just wanted to say it. And like they just keep walking. Can someone? You can put him back in now.
What?
Good.
I don't know. That's crazy. What? That's amazing. I never knew.
Hey, I'm back, everybody.
That would happen. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, you didn't miss anything.
Great.
Oh, you didn't see anything.
It's just about how stormtroopers say some stuff that's kind of out of context.
Yeah.
So if you want to find out,
This won't spoil anything, Catcher, because I'll just leave vague. Have you experienced it in A mode and B mode?
I've only experienced it in A mode.
I've unfortunately.
I want to experience it in B mode.
I've seen it.
I want to so bad.
Because
the final scene before the last part of the attraction, that's what I want to see.
I don't know if you can see that, but there's Chewie.
I can see him
Starting to walk up in there.
I can. A lot of people are like, oh, is he with Finn? I was like, no. I was like, Finn's on a covert mission right now. And they'd be like, or like, a lot of the times Rise of the Resistance, being a one-of-a-kind attraction, would have a slight mishap. And people couldn't ride it at the time that they were allowed to ride it.
Yeah.
So, I would have to clean. Not always, but most of the time I got stuck on the ride because they give guests food to like enlighten their weight. So like banana, popcorn, chocolate chip cookies, bottles of water, because they don't know how long the ride will be down.
Yeah.
And some guests get a little mad because they're like, you're telling me I got here at 5 a.m. when the park opens at 8 a.m. to get on a ride that I wasn't even guaranteed to get on. And then I get on the ride, or I finally get through, and now I can't ride it. And then my response is, the Resistance has to work with whatever they have. Their ships are literally made out of whatever garbage they can find. And sometimes that garbage falls apart. So right now, we have and they'll bring out Chewie, and he'll work on the X-wing outside, and they'll bring Rey through, and they'll say hi or whatever. And it's a pleasant distraction. And that level of immersiveness, where it's just like, hey, we apologize, but I mean, the Resistance really needs your help. So please keep a positive attitude.
I want to hear that call though that they make if it goes down. Oh, it's down. Please send
I know
Chewie in
exactly
with some
what it
cookies.
is.
Send in Chewie with cookies. We need Chewie with cookies right now.
No, Chewy cookies.
Chewie cookies. Chewie cookies.
So,
I know,
so
I
do
know
you?
exactly what it is.
You don't have to. You can just say yes or no. Do you know what B mode is? I don't want to ruin it for K-Turn.
Yes, I know what it is.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's different. You're
Let's
like,
just say just say it's a screen.
yeah, it's a screen.
Yeah, let's just say it's a screen.
Yeah, it's
Similar to Navi River Journey.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a cooler screen than Navi River Journey. I'll give it that.
But the Navi River Journey, it's not an audio animatronic. It's a full-on AI robot. Did you know that? It's like so many lines of code from becoming sentient. Do you know that?
Oh,
it's gonna stand up. It's gonna stand up one day and just kill boat riders.
Well, no, like it's only a few lines of code from like standing up, because it's a robot. It's not. It's an AI robot. It's not an audio animatronic.
It's gonna kill us all.
And it knows when it malfunctions, and it'll like it knows when it malfunctions, and it'll go away. And they'll fix it.
Cookies. Thank you, Isaac. On the live stream, it would be Wookiee cookies.
Wookiee cookies. Okay.
Well,
bring in the Wookiee cookies.
Yeah, I mean that thing. This is so crazy. But yeah, the screen. It's a
screen
with Kylo, but it's
I heard that. Yeah.
It's not him standing; it's him flying around.
Like Mary Poppins.
No, he's in a ship.
Him holding on to a lightsaber. Him holding on to a lightsaber, just like drifting through space, like Carrie Fisher in The Last Jedi.
That movie doesn't exist here.
Yeah,
And you have Michael Rooker in the back, just like looking all mean.
Oh, Mary Poppins. Y'all. If you could pick one more character to be a roam around character in Black Spire Outpost, who would you drop into that world?
Not anyone in particular, but Jawas.
Oh yeah, that'd be fine.
I want Jawas. I want gonk droids. Jawas and gonk droids. Walk around droids.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, when they originally presented Galaxy's Edge, it was with droids that would roam around and more characters.
And we're working on it. I say we, but it's Disney. Disney's working on it.
Oh, really?
Have you not heard about Jake? He's in the Imagineering story on Disney Plus. Jake is an AI droid that free roams.
It's been a while since I've watched it because I started to watch it. I was like, yeah, I started to watch it and then I realized that they were going to show stuff from Galaxy's Edge, and that was before I had gone, and I'm like, before Rise of the Resistance it came out, and I was like, I don't want to see that. so
yeah. There's part of the documentary where it's Imagineers and they're talking about the future of the parks and how they won't even have to interfere with anything because they'll have AI droids going around and interacting with people, and how they can clearly emote their how they're feeling with different colors and whistles and beeps.
They're going to have to do that now.
Similar to how Disneyland had brought out R2-D2.
Yeah. They're gonna have to
like
stuff like that.
Well, you know who I would pick for them to add to Thala Sirens.
Yes. I think the easiest add would be Twi'leks.
Yeah.
The easiest one would be Twi'leks. But with
you think this guy behind me will ever make an appearance?
How do we know it's a
the
guy?
Child? Well, do you think the child in the Mandalorian will be...
child is mentioned as the pronoun he, so it is safe.
That's true.
Say
Somebody they were changing his name.
Probably not in Batuu. Probably in Launch Bay. Similar to BB-8.
Well, we don't know how it plays out, so we don't know if the Mandalorian is still alive during this time or not, because we don't know how it plays out, because it takes place after The Last Jedi. I mean, after Return of the Jedi.
Roughly 6 years after.
he could still be
Yeah.
around. The child could still
Um,
be around.
Maybe prepubescent.
Yeah.
Mm.
He'd be how old? He'd be if he's 50 now or 50
he'd
in the
be around 80.
yeah.
around
So
80.
he would be like a young lad.
Speaking like 3 words at a time, just like Yoda, I am.
I think
God.
that the Mandalorian and the child will be at Disney at some point. But you know, when they open back up, they're probably not going to have these character meet and greets and character walk arounds as much.
From the Florida government whole thing, it says they're going to increase shows and parades.
Yeah.
So it is, but they're going to limit meet and greets. So like how Shanghai's doing, where they're standing on a balcony and they're farther away from you. The same thing with parade floats. Just put them on a parade float, put them down, have them wave.
Big snow globes. There's going to be in giant snow globes. And
Our mom's
Yes.
hamster
Hamster
now.
balls.
That was an episode that
I
a while
remember.
back. That was my.
And then they're going to
that's
sell the
solve.
snow globes after.
Yeah, sell the
Yeah,
snow globes.
exactly.
after. That's the solve.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Disney.
Oh,
hates
yeah. Our
them.
mom's
Takes money.
on here. She doesn't want to go if they don't have the child,
Yeah, or she calls it the baby.
the baby.
As a fan, and after seeing how profitable he is, there's no doubt in my mind that they're working on something similar to like
yeah.
Star-Lord and Baby Groot,
Mm-hmm.
because that's how I would imagine it.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Where
it's
like
gonna be
he'd just be like kind of holding the orb, wearing
Mhm.
the necklace.
and it's going to be adorable.
like-
It's trying to choke people.
I got another
I
child.
don't have that yet. I do not have them yet. I'm going to pre-order the one of Mando and the child walking down the desert, and the child's in his little
Yeah. That was pretty
carriage.
good. I ordered that one like.
Who
last
knows how
year
long
sometime.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it finally came the other day. I was like, "Happy birthday!"
So yeah, I was so happy to get my May the 4th pin. It's up on my bulletin board. It's just out of camera view. But May the 4th on Shop Disney was something else.
Yeah. Yeah, they're selling the R2 and the BB units from the Droid Depot on there.
Which that's cool, but it's just like if they're the same price as the ones you could make,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like why not just make one? Because I'm a really big fan of the R5 series.
Oh,
like
yeah.
R5D4, like he's got a bad motivator, and almost every single droid and Galaxy's Edge has the first two. It's an R5 series.
Yeah.
Hondo Onaka's droid is an R5.
Yep.
All of the Rise of the Resistance ride vehicles have an R5 unit in them, and that's cool because I got to sit in that before anybody else.
Oh.
They were in Chicago during Star Wars Celebration, and it was before I even applied to work for the company, and I got to sit in it. I was like, "Oh, it's really cool! Look at the ride vehicle; it has a 77 on it. That's really cool." Or and I have a picture of me and one of my roommates just sitting there looking like goofballs, and it's like, hi. But
All right, before we move on, because we have
Yes.
so much to talk about. Any other little tidbits from Galaxy's Edge you got for us? Or is that good?
talk to the locals. Talk to the locals. Everyone has a background story.
Mhm.
They probably know a little bit more than you about the landscape. They can point out little things. Similar to the Falcon. The Falcon, if you look underneath the ventilation shaft on the cockpit, you'll be able to see a miniature Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
And that's something cool. There's callbacks to a lot of the movies. All the trash cans say trash to sector like 326783 or something like that, which is the exact same code as the trash compactor on the Death Star that the original cast gets trapped in, and that's a nice little callback and stuff
cool.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of cool stuff. All right.
Just keep your eyes open.
Eyes and ears
All
up.
right. Are we asking more questions?
Okay, hold on.
I see the shuffling of the cards.
Next page. No. We touched a little bit on 501st, but I don't know what else you pretty much described what it is, to everybody. So I think
It's
good to know.
so in brief, it's a nonprofit organization that advocates for organizations like we work with Make a Wish, the American Cancer Society, and basically we just try to do the best that we can. Our slogan is "Bad Guys Doing Good." It's an international costuming club of the villains of Star Wars, and there are roughly 13,000 members worldwide with over 17,000 approved costumes. Yeah, it's something else. And the reason why I joined, I mean, I was 9 years old. I had the option to go see Kiss or Weird Al. Guess which one I saw?
Please say Weird Al.
I did. I did see Weird Al.
Nice.
And his encore has the 501st. I was 9 years old, and after the show, the 501st took pictures and everything. And I have a picture of me on my Instagram where it's like 10 years through Star Wars, where it's like the first time meeting a stormtrooper to becoming a TIE pilot, and that was something cool.
Oh, cool.
And the thing is, when you're broken down into garrisons, which is by state or area, I'm part of the Midwest garrison, which is for Illinois, the entire state, not just Chicago, not just Southern Illinois or Central, but the entire state. With Midwest has roughly 250 members. But the picture that I have, I showed it to someone when I got in, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's Kevin. Kevin, whatever his last name is." And I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, we can tell by the details in his armor that that's him."
Huh.
I was like, "But you're all stormtroopers, aren't you all supposed to be uniform?" Like, no, his eyes are a little bit different, and his frown. I was like, "Wow,
Crazy.
it's so
Wild.
like." Because it's funny because I'm friends with them now. People who I had met throughout my childhood, I'm now friends with. Like,
That's cool.
I had no idea
That's
because
cool.
we just randomly crossed paths. And now it's like, oh, you want to hang over at Jim's house? Cool, he's cooking up burgers while we all fix our armor. That's, yeah,
That's awesome.
As one
What?
does. Yeah.
yeah, as one does. Like, he's offered up his garage, and like 20 people show up, and we're all just like filing plastic and screwing stuff together, making sure stuff works.
So did you make
But-
your armor then?
Yes and no. So I bought it from a company as a kit. I'm a New Hope TIE pilot. My identification number is TI21715, and that will be my number for the rest of the 501st's life. And so I bought this on like a whim. I found someone who could help me, and they mentored me through it. I probably did like 10% of the work because this guy was another TIE pilot, and he's like, "I messed up mine. I don't want you to mess up yours." So he did a lot of it. Like, all it is ABS plastic that's been vacuum formed. There's so much E6000 glue on this. So much. It's spray painted. It's got padding. I have 3D printed parts for it. It's a lot of fun. And the sense of community you get with it is something else. Because you're just like, "Oh, you have that costume? Cool, so do I." Or like, I've been throwing an idea out there about something I saw online where it's a gonk droid with a Jawa like sitting on top of it as like a one-person costume.
Oh,
I was
that
like,
is
that
cool.
would be cool. I was like, but I don't think it's approvable because like it has to go through an approval process and it's all screen accurate stuff. So
How does that work? And you may not know this. The Mandalorian mercs, I see a lot of their costumes, and they like it looks like stuff that they've just come up with in their heads. It's not like
the
screen accurate. How's that
The
organization work?
The Mandalorian mercs, even though I'm not a member, even though I don't know everything, I do know some things, which the 501st, it is all stuff that has been on screen or in the comic books.
Yeah.
so you have references to look to. And if it's not screen accurate, then it's just a fun build. And with the Mandalorian Mercs, it has more of a creative bias to it, where excuse me while I set that down. It has more of a creative bias where you can become your own character with your own name, your own backstory, alongside a set of guidelines where it's like, oh, it can't be made out of EVA foam, or it can't do this. It has to follow certain rules to be approved.
Yeah. I started making whatever they call the shoulder pieces out of EVA foam, and then I read that and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
Improve that. So.
I was gonna say, I've heard of a Mandalorian. He's probably like 6'5" and like 275 pounds, but like he forged all of his armor, and it's like all steel.
Wow.
And like he just clanks around. He's just this big guy, and he commands a room.
Wow.
Because it's all metal, and he just goes for it. But so, with the costuming clubs, there's the 501st, which are the bad guys, of course, even though we're not all bad. There's the Rebel Legion, which goes into the Resistance and all that, where it's like X-Wing fighters and Padme and Rey. There is the Droid Builders Club. So that's every droid possible. There are the Mando Mercs, which are just Mandalorians. There is the Galactic Academy, which is for kids 17 and under with any costume. It just introduces them into the world, because a lot of these, like I said earlier, the median age for most of these groups is around 46. So a lot of these people have lives, they have children already, and sometimes you can't find a sitter. So you make a costume for your kid and take them with you. It counts as a troop. And you make all these milestones and trade all these patches and all these coins, and you meet all these people, and then it just forms a larger community than itself. And if I missed any of the subgroups of the Star Wars costuming group, I apologize in advance, but I think I hit most of them.
The Jedi, do they have their own, or is it like they're just in with the Rebels?
I think Jedi would be in with the Rebel Legion. There is a Sith Lord detachment, I believe it's like Sith, or the Dark Empire, where it's like Sith. And then there's Saber Guild, where they do lightsaber fights and everything, and they choreograph everything.
It's funny. I just ordered last week. I ordered some battle ready lightsabers, some dual worthy lightsabers. So because I told my wife, and my wife, I mean, she likes Star Wars, but she's not like me. And since we've been stuck at home, I'm like, we should just learn how to fight with lightsabers. And she's like, really? And I'm like, it would be a blast. We should do this. And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, no, come on, it'll be fun. I was like, there's this company that's like right down the road from us. We can order lightsabers.
Saber Forge, right?
No, Ultra Sabers.
Ultra Saber, okay.
I don't know when we'll get them, but they had a sale that was like 15% off, and I found out that if you bought a dual-bladed lightsaber from them, that it's actually two lightsabers that they put together that you could take apart, and it's cheaper than buying just two lightsabers.
Oh.
So I was like,
loopholes, people.
I'm going to take that loophole and run with it, because you have to upgrade your blade to like a heavy grade so you don't break it. So if you get a dual one and you upgrade to the heavy grade, it only charges you for one of the blades, not both of the blades. Like $15. Yeah. So I bought a dual lightsaber, but I got two different colors because she wanted her own color. So it'll be a dual lightsaber with two different color blades, which whatever. We probably will never put it together. But so who knows when those will come? But I wanted an orange lightsaber, so I got an orange and a blue.
Go Vols.
I thought that was good. Well, Vols are orange.
You said orange,
blue, and blue.
Oh, so it's Auburn.
So it's more like Gator
or Auburn.
Yeah. So she wasn't happy about that one.
Sports.
But then she won't listen to this, so I can tell you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get them, and they're cool looking sabers, but I like to mod stuff, so I'll probably weather them and all this stuff. And I got these 2 medallion things that hook together to form the Rebel Alliance symbol. And on one half it says "I love you," and on the other half it says "I know." So I'm going to put those on the pommel into the lightsabers. So we'll have the "I love you" and "I know" couples lightsabers. I know it's cheesy. I know it's cheesy,
Jeez,
but I thought it's cool, and it's gonna.
But hey, when you connect it, you can just go full mall.
So
Yeah.
sweet.
Crazy.
Oh,
I know.
oh, the
And
sweetness.
what's funny is I have a friend who does a costume of Darth Maul, and he loves it so much that he became a Darth Maul stormtrooper.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and he's actually friends with Ray Park.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, and so whenever Ray Park's in the States, they'll hang out and just do stuff. Because I'll have to send you pictures. This guy's Maul is so convincing. Like, he stays in character, doesn't smile, dirties up his teeth, everything. And, like, he doesn't talk. And he's just, like, standing there.
I've
He
got
just
to
has
see
someone
Ray.
talk for him.
Yeah.
Someone in the back. Someone else does his voice.
Someone else does. Yeah,
Sam Witwer.
Sam Witwer just follows him around.
But what's also cool is that since he knows him, it's just like, hey, I'm doing this con in Wisconsin, even though we live in Illinois. He's like, do you want to come and like do photo ops? And he'll be like, yeah, I'll come and do photo ops. And he does all these costumes and stuff. And then Lucasfilm found my friend or found this guy, and they're like, hey, do you want to be one of the first people in the world to own a First Order Stormtrooper?
Oh.
And Lucasfilm, he was part of this group called the Alpha 75. And they were the first people in the world to get the First Order Stormtroopers because they were all around the same height, same build. And I think they went on Soldier Field for like the first trailer of the movie in 2014. Like right after the Thanksgiving thing.
Oh, cool.
Or 2014, early 2015. And so, yeah, he has one of the first Order Stormtroopers ever made.
That's cool.
For public use.
Huh. Wow. Yeah, we had a friend of the show. I guess they're our friends now. They've been on the show. Who was Anakin Skywalker in the Rose Bowl parade, and he does Anakin like a bunch.
That's really cool.
He actually designs the Star Wars posters, the theatrical posters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're called Always Believe on YouTube.
Brian?
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah. I was going to say,
Cool guy.
I follow him.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're running long, but since it is the 40th anniversary, you guys want to take a quick trivia quiz?
Sure. We're gonna get
Is
them
it
all
the
wrong.
Instagram quiz?
No. This is the official Star Wars quiz.
Oh, I'm going to be so bad at this. I haven't brushed
Welcome to my world.
Trust me. Let me tell you, because I wanted one. Because last time we did quizzes, they were like from Disney site, and we were like, "Well, this is the dumbest quiz ever." This one was on the official Star Wars site, and I have loved Star Wars. I mean, I'm a Star Wars freak, and some of these questions I'm like, "What?" Like, it took me a minute, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that's it." So I'm not expecting anybody to get 100%.
What is Boba Fett's middle name?
Oh, that's Rhonda, of course.
Rhonda.
Yeah.
Rhonda. Boba Rhonda Fett.
Yeah. You didn't know that? All right. So do you guys want to work together, or do you want to each give your own answer?
It's up to you guys.
Yeah, whatever.
Don't mind.
Okay, well, I'll just read it and figure it out.
We'll go with the flow.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. This is the 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back trivia challenge. You guys are ready?
Yes.
All right.
Play along if you're still on watching
We
this.
have a few.
And if you're listening, when you're listening to this, play along with us too. Okay. What is Han Solo? It's multiple choice. So
Okay.
multiple choice. What is Han Solo's call sign on Hoth? Is it Echo 3, Echo 4, Echo 5, or Echo 7?
Echo 7.
I'm gonna go with 5.
Oh, we're each
Luke was Red 5, so I'd say Echo 7. Yeah, I want to agree with Katrin. It's gonna be like Echo 4. Where you at? What's your location?
The answer is Echo 7.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was
Katrin.
wrong.
All right, we'll just keep moving along. Which type of droid is not seen in Echo Base? Is it a mouse droid, a Treadwell, which I don't even know that was a droid. I don't know. A 2-1B or a Gonk droid,
2-1B.
which was not seen.
Yeah, that was my thought. Was the 2
Mouse droids were Imperial, weren't they? Or for the most part, they were Imperial. So I'd say mouse.
Point to Winchester.
Oh.
Mouse droid. And if you think about it, even if they had mouse droids, a mouse droid couldn't run around on Hoth. It would just sort of just get stuck in the snow.
A21B was like a probe droid, wasn't it?
A 2-1B.
No idea. I'll look it up.
I'd have to look up. I
continue.
don't know what the Treadwell one is. I'd have to look that up. And I thought I knew all of them.
I'm just gonna
I'll
answer
look them
everything with C-3PO from now on. Just go ahead.
Taking one last look.
What? Okay, number 3. What was Luke out investigating? This is an easy one. When he was attacked by the Wampa. Was he investigating a probe droid, a fallen tauntaun, a meteorite, or a cave? Easy one.
Probe droid. I about said meteorite, but
Yeah, probe droid. Sure.
Well, yeah.
Or the cave.
Well, it like crashed in the beginning of the movie, and it's like, oh, it was a meteorite, but it was really a probe droid. So I'm gonna go meteorite.
It's a meteorite.
I was gonna say that. No.
I have no clue.
Yeah, because that's just they see it and go, oh, it's probably a meteorite. I'm going to go investigate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's what he
we
went to
watched
investigate.
this recently. So I should have known that.
Yeah.
Quick sidetrack: the Treadwell droid is like the spider arms. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's a Treadwell,
Okay.
and then the 2-1B droid.
2
Okay, continue. Oh, it's a medical droid.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
business. We just call them medical droids, you know.
Yeah, med droids. Yeah. All right.
This was a hard one.
You're doing so well so far. Go ahead.
Who speaks these words? Your Highness, there's nothing more we can do tonight. The shield doors must be closed. Is it General Carlos Rican?
John Ratzenberger's character.
Jack Ralter? I can never pronounce Star Wars names. It's because I'm from Tennessee. C-3PO or Major Bryn Derlin?
The second one
Go
you
with
said.
the second one, yeah.
Quote?
What? The what?
The second one you said.
Can you repeat the quote?
The quote is, Your Highness, there's nothing
remember.
more we can do tonight. The shield doors must be closed.
I do remember the quote.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the second one because I don't know any of those names.
Dak
And C-3PO was an option?
C-3PO, Dark Ralthar, General Rican, Major Bryn Derlin.
I'm going to say C-3PO.
We got
Because it's Your
and
Highness.
we have 2 Dax. Sorry, nobody got this one right. It was Major Bryn Derlin.
Of course.
You know,
Of course.
you know the famous Major.
Derlin. Good old
Tyler's on here.
Durley.
Tyler, you should answer these. He's probably got them all. He's just
Durmeister. Yeah.
okay. Number 5. Which Imperial officer fails Vader for the last time?
Last time.
Is it?
Um,
I'm going to mispronounce these names again because I can never pronounce them because I can't
That's
read.
okay.
Is it Piet or Piet? P-I-E-T-T?
Piet.
Piet. Is it Ozel, Nita, or Mati?
Mati.
Nita. Because
Piet.
he need to do better.
Is he Italian now?
That's what he is. He's a good.
What was Winchester? What was your answer?
I said Hyatt.
No, nobody got it. It was Ozzel. Ozzel.
Of
Oh,
course it
no.
was.
Oh, Derlin was John Ratzenberger's character.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Princess Leia advises all troop carriers to assemble at which entrance on Hoth? Is it the north, the south, the east, or the west?
North.
Did you say west?
I'm gonna go south.
Screw it. Let's go west.
Okay.
I said north.
Oh, north. Catron, you get a point. It's north.
So I'm so happy I've not gotten one question right.
No, you
Yeah,
haven't.
I'm doing good. I'm doing
I've
good.
gotten two.
Oh, you don't have to keep
Catron's
track.
still
There's
leading.
nothing to keep track of.
Winchester has 3. Catron has 2.
Oh,
Chris has 0.
Oh,
This was an easy one.
Yes.
Here we go.
Let's do this.
okay. Go ahead.
Which tool does Han request from Chewbacca to repair the Falcon's hyperdrive? Is it an insider, a hydrospanner, a power calibrator, or a transponder? This is an easy one, guys.
Transponder?
This is Star Wars 101.
Hydrospanner, because don't they reference that in Galaxy's Edge?
Catron?
Hydro.
I'll go with Hydrospanner.
It is a hydrospanner.
Yes.
When you're waiting in line
I'm
for the
surprised
Millennium
not to get any.
Falcon, you'll overhear like intercoms of 2 guys talking, and they're called, it's like Malta and something else. I forgot what the other one is. Gar and Malta. One of them's like really just kind of incompetent. He's like, "Hey, did someone take my hydrospanner again? I know you took it." And it's like, "Oh, I was sitting on it."
I
So
don't
it's
know.
just something to listen to while you're.
Yeah.
Chris, you don't have a hydrospanner laying around the house?
No, I don't know much about tools. I'm not very handy.
That makes sense.
Oh.
All right. Number 8. What is the possibility of a successful nav? What is
3,720 to 1.
Anybody else want to answer? 3 point.
Whatever he said.
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
of navigating an asteroid field. Yeah, it's 3,720 to 1.
There you go.
I'll give everybody a point for that. Except for Chris.
Yeah, you should not give me a point.
I'll give you a point, Chris.
That's a pity
Yeah.
point.
You got a pity point.
I don't need your pity points.
Okay. This one, Chris, you should get.
I'm not gonna get it. Go ahead.
What does Luke tell Yoda is his reason for wanting to be a Jedi? Is it Princess Leia, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, Obi-Wan, or his father? Please
The
get this in.
Jedi like my father before me.
Please, Chris. Come on.
It's father.
Catron?
I'll go with his father.
His father.
It's his father. If you'd have said Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru,
I mean, really, that's who he should have done it for because, I mean, they raised him, they died for him. I mean, just
Right?
ungrateful little child. I mean, it's horrible.
Talk about a child.
Yeah.
And now they're in barbecue heaven.
Those poor people, they did everything for him. He didn't care. Little brat.
okay. Well, yeah. What does Yoda say is inside the cave on Dagobah? Only
Diamond in the rough.
Diamond in the rough.
Only what is inside you. Only what you take with you. Only what you fear. Or only what you wish to see.
Only what you take with you. How do you go with that one?
This is when
Only what you
he
fear.
kind of fights himself
Yeah.
as Darth Vader. I'd say what you fear. Yeah.
What did Catron would you say?
Only what you fear.
Chris, guess what? You got it right. It's only what you take
I
with
only
you.
know this because I finished watching the Clone Wars and Yoda goes down in there and I'm pretty sure they say something similar to him. So.
There you go.
But need not to take your weapons.
Thanks for that spoiler, Chris.
You're never watching
Come on.
it.
I am watching it. I've gotten
You
through
should
like
watch
4
it. It's very good.
episodes.
There you go.
You'll
It
forget
gets
about
better.
it.
Yeah.
It gets way better.
Yeah.
On what platform does Han land the Falcon in Cloud City?
Windows.
727, B27, 327, or A37?
A37.
B20, whatever.
A37.
It's 327.
Oh. Tricked us,
They
Ryan.
tricked you there.
Bummer.
Yeah. What does Lando say is the price he pays for being successful? Higher taxes, no friends,
Yes.
more responsibility, trouble with Imperials.
Trouble with Imperials.
No friends.
With benefits.
I'll say Imperials.
More
Oh, I was
responsibility.
going to say that. The Spider-Man answer.
Yeah, I would have said something like that if I would have.
Billy D. Williams is not proud of us.
Yeah. How many stormtroopers? There's only 3 more left. How many stormtroopers are present when Han is loaded into Slave 1? Is it 1, 2, 3, or none?
None.
None, because it's just Boba
None.
Fett pushing him
Yeah.
on with like Lobot.
It's 1.
One? Yeah,
It's
he's standing
really-
there watching, isn't he?
If you watch the scene, it's even hard to tell. He's standing there. They load, like a officer or somebody loads Han up, and then when Boba Fett walks forward to the ship, there was like a stormtrooper like standing directly behind him, and he's just standing there at attention. Isn't that funny? It's just like,
It's just a cardboard cutout.
I'll stand behind you, man. Just making sure.
The matte painting.
You know, I did some work too.
Yeah. All right. What does Obi-Wan? I can't do Obi-Wan. Can you guys? Chris, can you do Obi-Wan?
Which Obi-Wan?
Which of them?
Any one of them.
I don't know. Well, I don't know the question, so I can't really.
No,
do
can you just say something as Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan.
Something is Obi-Wan.
Okay, never mind.
It's more of a beetle. Hello.
Yeah,
How
Chris
we
could
doing?
do. Chris could do other characters.
Ew.
He could do the joke.
Doobie-doobie-doo.
What does Obi-Wan tell Luke will happen if he faces Vader? He will no longer be trained. He will face him alone. He will be turned to the dark side. He will not be strong enough.
You will face him alone.
It would not be strong enough.
You will go to the concert on your own. Now I'm turning to Stewie Griffin. You get a coconut? And a Great American Apple?
Oh, Winchester! I think we have a friend on. We have a friend watching.
It's
Alex?
one of my roommates. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
one of my roommates. He's gonna love this. He worked at Be Our Guest,
Oh,
and shout out to the boys in the bog.
There you go.
Bog being an acronym for
Be
Be
Our
Our
Guest.
Guest.
Awesome.
Yeah.
boys.
Boys
It was
in the
like a-
bog.
Like a boy band or something.
Or rap.
With the boys in the bog, I'm the shy one. It's. Oh, sorry. It's he will face him alone. Who said
I
that?
think I
That's
said
the
that.
answer.
I
said
don't
that.
remember what I said.
Yeah. I think I agreed with Katrin.
I think I may have said that in
Oh,
some
You didn't say that.
horrible accent. I don't know.
We all got the right answer.
Sure. Okay, last one. Finish the quote. I'm not even going to give you a multiple choice for this one.
Oh, wow.
We'll see if you can get it without multiple choice. You have learned much.
But not so much.
But only a little bit.
A little bit.
Okay, I'll give you some answers. You have learned much, young Skywalker, or you have learned much, my son, or you have learned much, young Jedi, or you have learned much, young one.
Young Jedi.
Young Skywalker.
It's either Skywalker or Jedi. Those words get thrown
Young
around in
Skywalker.
this saga so much.
You know what? When I took this quiz, this one got me too. I thought it was young Skywalker. In my head, that's what he says, but it's young one.
There you go.
You have learned much, young one.
David Prowse. Be with me.
I like the
Be with me.
Okay, let's see who won.
much, but not so
we're all
much.
winners.
Katrin! Yeah.
Katrin had 6 points.
Yeah, Katrin!
Winchester had 1, 2, 3, 7 points.
There you go.
And drum Chris,
And Chris had 87.
The last question you didn't know
got
was
'em
worth
all.
80 points. So it's
4.
four.
All right.
Nice.
I'll ask you a question because I think this was revealed. You may have seen this online today. What was the alternate line that James Earl Jones read for instead of him saying that he was the father? He was his father. There was an alternate line that was revealed today. It was an alternate script. So like
Wait, I know this. Hold on.
so
Your
so
brothers, cousins, uncles,
He
roommate.
doesn't say,
I'm your
no,
mother.
I'm your father. He says,
You are my son.
no, it wasn't because it was a line.
You're my father.
It was a line that was put in there to throw people off, right?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know. I
It's-
killed your
it's-
father, or
it's in-
Obi-Wan
What?
killed your father. No, Obi-Wan killed your father.
That's right.
Yes, 80,000 for me.
Which, I mean, he's not wrong. Like, that's not.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as you get the high ground.
Yeah.
You are my chosen
one.
Yeah, the line was never take the high ground. Or like,
Or, like, Darth Vader was like a half step higher than Luke. He's like, guess where I'm at now? Slice.
Obi-Wan killed your father.
Tyler got it, but I got it first, Tyler.
Well, there's a delay,
I know there's a delay.
so he probably got it on time.
Yeah, he probably got that. I'm just kidding, Mr. Tyler. Yeah, it's funny that Emperor gave Anakin longer legs so that he would always have the high ground.
Dang delay.
But Anakin was the master of the high.
now you'll always have the high ground.
I didn't realize. I was thinking, and I was talking to somebody about this, about how Empire Strikes Back is like such like a horror movie. Like all the stuff that happens in it, it's like this is totally a horror movie.
The bad guys win. Like,
That's where they got the idea
There
for
is-
Saw.
But you got the Wampa that rips, that's trying to eat somebody. You have the big space slug thing that they fly down into with the. It's got the jump scare when the
Yeah.
Minox.
Inox, attached to the screen or to the thing.
Windshield.
The windshield, yeah. I don't know. There's just so many
Yeah,
things.
I mean,
in it.
little known fact. I mean, the script that was originally written to be the sequel for that ended up becoming Saw.
Huh.
But Reservoir
They-
Dogs.
they were-
the fourth song.
They were going into like a horror. They were leaning into it a little bit after that because of
And
that.
Carrie Fisher was the final girl. So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The person that I was talking to may have a
Yoda was
podcast
on the
out-
little cycle.
podcast coming out talking about this. So I'll be interested if they actually do it. That's why.
And then Matthew Lillard just like kind of like grins while he's shaking the gun and stuff, and takes off that ghost mask. Yeah,
It was all in it. Like Zoids.
yeah. Call back to earlier in the podcast.
Sorry, school.
Yeah. Bring it full circle.
And there was recently, there's a video that I saw, probably came out like 4 years ago, but it's like Shaggy and Scooby, and Shaggy's Obi-Wan, and Scooby's Anakin, and they're doing the whole Mustafar fight thing. He's like Scoob, it's over.
Like I have the high ground.
Yeah.
Did you know that the little other fact? This is my Empire Strikes Back fact. We can end on this because we've been on here for a long time if we want to, or we could keep talking. There was they redid the ending of Empire Strikes Back after it was released into theaters.
Oh.
So
What?
it got released, and then Lucas was like, "I don't like that ending. And he called up his people and said, we're going to do some reshoots." And they're like, "What? Like we've already released in the theater." He just goes, "We're going to do some reshoots." So they did reshoots before it was like mass released onto the more standard film version. So it had already like been released in certain spots, but they went back and redid it because it was too like happy of an ending. You couldn't really tell. It made it look like that all the characters were together on a ship, and that they'd all got together. They're all together and stuff, because it didn't show like outside views of the Falcon and outside views of the medical ship and all that stuff. So they went back in and they did other shots so you know that the heroes all were separated at the end of Empire. I thought that was interesting.
Very.
Shut up.
When you originally said reshoots, I was going to make a joke like, "Wait, are you talking about cats?"
Oh.
But I'm not going to go there. Not going to go there.
That's the next cut that's going to come out. The Snyder cut is happening. The next is going to be the cat,
Tail ends.
Yeah.
tail end cut.
There you go. Really got to
All
the
right,
butter
Alex.
into that
Good,
joke.
good to have you, Alex. Thanks for coming. Join us again. Alex has got to head out, but
All right.
doesn't say bye.
He's a good kid.
Where's he gotta go? It's like midnight.
He's got boy band rehearsals. He's got to get to.
No, Alex. He lives on the East Coast, so it's 1:30 in the morning for him.
Well, then where's he going? That's even later.
Yeah.
He's got boys in the
Going
box
out
early
somewhere?
in the morning.
I don't know. He's got to
The
practice
rebel.
making the gray stuff.
I heard it's delicious.
Don't believe me?
I've heard it.
Every time that we've eaten there, my wife has gotten really sick. So whatever.
The first time I ate there, I was like 13, and we ordered the baguette, like
Feels so
with
old.
brisket or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was 7 years ago. Like, that's a large chunk of my life. And the baguette was like a brick. So we have the family running joke. It was a briquette.
Briquette.
We're just like, oh, that's so funny.
I have a reservation for 8 a.m. at Be Our Guest, and we're excited. Not so much about the
If we
food,
go.
but just to be. Oh, I know, but just to be in the park
Yeah.
early and to be able to do that. We haven't done that yet, so hope it happens. I'm doubtful, but I'm hopeful at the same time. So we'll see.
We're all hopeful.
I went out into the real world today. I had to.
What?
In
Oh.
Texas, we have to take our cars to get them inspected.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to do that the other week.
So I did take, and it was like ours needed to be inspected in April, but we haven't left the house, so the car's just been sitting there. So I took it out, and then I had to run in Lowe's because I'm making
go
lightsaber
to
sleeves
Lowe's.
for some customers.
I
Huh?
said, don't go to Lowe's. It's crazy in Lowe's for whatever reason.
Oh, well, I had to go. I had to get paint to finish these lightsaber sleeves. And I hated it. I hated it so much.
I can't be out anymore.
I you have to wear a mask, and some people weren't wearing masks, but I was wearing a mask and I had gloves on, and I felt like I was going to rob the place when I went into the car place.
Mhm.
I walked in and I'm like, and nobody's wearing masks but me, and I'm like, I know it looks like I'm going to rob the place, but I'm not. And they all laughed.
But really, I am.
But really,
The
just
mask,
put it.
the mask,
Give me your money. Put it in the bag.
yeah, the mask that I'm wearing is one that our mom made for us. And I already told her, so she knows. I felt like I was wearing a pair of panties on my face the way the thing's made. And I said, Jennifer, does it look like I'm wearing panties on my face? She's like, yeah, it totally does.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's terrible.
Walking through Lowe's with panties on my face. But it was just like there was somebody in the paint aisle, so I waited my turn like you're supposed to till they left. I went in, and as soon as I go in, some lady walks around the corner and gets all up in my business looking at paint, and I'm like, what are you doing, lady? Don't you see these big squares on the ground that you're supposed to stand in?
Start coughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went to check out, standing in the long line on the square you're supposed to stand on, and this guy just walks down the aisle, just walks directly in front of me, and goes and checks out. And I'm just like, I was just like thinking about Disney the whole time, thinking, oh gosh, this is going to be horrible. This is
Yeah.
You've seen the. I'm not gonna comment on it, but the Disney Springs picture
Yeah.
that has
hot dog
recently.
lady. I'll comment on.
I won't. I won't
Time
comment
travelers.
on it.
They're time travelers.
Yeah, Chris is determined they're time travelers and they don't understand our ways.
No, yeah, exactly. They had to
But
eat.
the thing
they must
is-
cook.
Yeah. Even though there's a sign that says no open flames, yeah, we gotta cook. But I had a friend who is one of my superiors at Disney, and he's like, I went to City Walk yesterday, and since Disney Springs just opened up, no one was at City Walk. Because everyone wanted to go to Earl of Sandwich.
That is good.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know if I'd wait. I saw the line for roast sandwich, and I'm like, yeah. It's gonna be crazy though. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a whole different episode. That,
Yeah.
think about.
I mean, as much as I love Disney, it's Disney guests are the worst probably. So it's not gonna be. It's gonna be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
We have a word for annual pass holders who are rude
Oh,
that I won't say because of the guidelines of the podcast and how we are trying to keep it family friendly. But
hopefully I was not called this word.
no. Just people who are rude. I mean, we're
Yes.
human.
Gastons.
Please.
They're called Gastons.
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy
And
was
we
a real
throw-
Gaston.
And we throw 5 dozen eggs at them every time. But I mean, it's funny because people don't realize that cast members are people too.
Yeah.
Even though they
Yeah.
work for a giant corporation, they're just like, "Oh, you have that name tag. Feel my wrath." And I was just like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, can you get me out of this situation? They're like, I'm on my way. That's about it.
We got a nerf herder.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but like if they're suspicious anything, like we have a number to call, and like you're supposed to do it very discreetly, and just be like, hey, like I'm at this location, please come. And within 5 minutes, someone will come. Like they'll be like at the front of the park. Galaxy's Edge is in the back of the park. They will be there.
With a taser.
And
I just want to know where the
Codes.
bathroom is.
I worked.
Sister.
I worked at Busch Gardens for a few Halloween seasons as a scare actor when I lived in Tampa. I walked on stilts for them one year and did some other stuff for them. But I had to break up a fight in full scare actor costume. I had to stand between two people, an employee and a guest, a drunk guest, and in full Halloween costume. And I had like these rubber gloves and this mask, and hold my hands in front of them to keep them apart from each other until security got there. But I'm just like, it was two ladies, so I wasn't like scared for myself or anything. I was just sort of like, ladies, come on, just yeah.
You can
and then
hear more about this in our episode "Confessions of a Scare Actor."
Yeah, that's right.
I have a few friends who were scare actors for like Halloween Horror Nights and stuff.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's an experience. One of my other guys that I worked with there, he got punched in the face and he chased the guy out of the park in his full butcher costume. Like he jumped the rails and chased after.
Nice.
Anyways, that's another episode. You can go back in the vault.
Yes.
Of iamGEEK and listen to the scare actor one that we did and the other Halloween ones we did. But we've been talking for a while, like 2 hours. Look at this.
Yes. Right.
Yeah,
2 hours.
roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Winchester, let me tell you, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Yes. Sure.
It's been amazing. Your stories are amazing. I wish you could tell us all the secrets, but I know you can't.
Behind closed doors, I can. Because, I mean, it's just one person talking to another person.
Oh, wait, I just...
But
it's
we
not
stopped
recording
the
now.
podcast.
Yeah, we just,
Oh
we
yeah,
stopped.
nothing's recording now.
Okay, so every September, Chewbacca perms his hair.
I knew it. I knew it.
Anyway, thanks for coming on, Winchester. You're welcome back anytime to hang out with us. We do it every week.
So, it was fun hanging out.
And I hope...
I'll try to figure out something else to talk about.
He's like, I don't want to go. Having too much fun. But I hope that one day you can become a citizen of Batuu again. I don't know what your future holds or what you plan to do, but hopefully you can return one day and at least hang out in Batuu. And
yeah. Say I'm a sophomore in college, so we're gonna try to figure something out.
There you go. You got time.
Yeah,
Live it up, because once college is over with, you're looking right here what happens to you.
I was gonna say, the way that my path wants to go, it's gonna be a while because of state closures and everything. But we'll pass that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, just have fun, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, before you have kids or cats, as Chris has.
I got 3 of
them.
Anyways, but thanks for coming on. And thank you, listeners. Thank you, watchers, for watching and commenting. If we didn't miss your comment, we'll try to get back to it. Tyler, thanks for popping on. We'll have Tyler back on the show sometime soon. We'll want him back on. Maybe.
Please come back on.
We'll have Skylar Dane on.
Yeah.
Skylar Dane.
Anyways, thank you, Winchester. Thank you, everybody. This has been episode
148.
148. Wow. I said a brain. This has been episode 148 of I Am Geek, and we will talk with you next week.
Blah, blah.
Okay, we're
still on video,
right?
Yeah. Okay, so those secrets I was telling you.
Oh, we got to get on video first.
I'm kidding.
You should start telling the story, and as soon as you get to the good part, we'll just click off.
So, I'm backstage. I'm kidding. I'm not going to go into too much detail.
Anyways, thank you. I know that it's late, so we'll let the watchers go, and then Winchester can tell us all the cool stories. All right. Do we have anything else for the?
Yeah.
We're good.
I think we're good.
It just involves stormtroopers. That's about it.
Good night, everybody.
Crazy.
Thanks for watching.
We'll learn about that.